Yes.
All right. Yeah. So let's start the discussion. And in the morning, we discussed about the RDP, about the jump servers we discussed, how to connect to the servers in the organization. If you're doing work from home, how to connect. If you're doing work from office, how to connect. Okay. How to enable the remote connections and how to install the .NET framework. So, Sushmita, can you hear me, Sushmita?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Do you have my number?
Sir?
Do you have my number, WhatsApp number?
Yes, sir, I do have.
Please ping me in the WhatsApp. Huh?
Sure, sure.
Yeah, okay, done. Thank you. So is this your second class, Sushmita?
Yes, sir, second class. Morning I have attended.
Okay, done. No problem. Yeah. Fine. Okay, so now what we can do, guys, in the morning we discussed about the process, like the process of installing the SQL Server and all. Okay, so how to install the SQL Server. We didn't discuss about the installation of SQL Server, but we discussed about the process before jumping into the installation. So we have to follow the process, right? So what is the process? How we will get the ticket? Okay, and what are the hardware and software requirements to install the SQL Server? So all these things we discussed. Okay, and the prerequisites we have, like for hardware, from hardware side we should have minimum 1 GB to 4 GB RAM. That's a range. Like if you compare the old versions, SQL Server 2005, we need 1 GB. So 1 to 4 GB of RAM we need. Storage 4 to 5 GB of free space we need, and CPU 1 core. Okay, to depends upon the application size and all. Minimum 1 core we need. These are the minimum software requirements. Whereas minimum hardware requirements. Whereas software requirements will be .NET framework is like .NET framework is very important and mandatory. So .NET framework 2.0, 3.0, 3.5, 4.7. So we have already discussed how to install. Just you have to select one feature section. In the feature section, we have to select one box so that automatically it will install .NET Framework 2.0, 3.0, 3.5, and below to that you can see the .NET Framework 4.7, which will be already selected. So you can install the .NET Framework. Again, this will be done by the Windows team in the organization. So nothing to worry about the .NET Framework and all. This is as part of their, okay, Sushmita. This is as part of their post installation of operating system. So they are going to take care of it. One more point I just want to add, this regarding RDP. People are asking, Shanmukh, mine is Windows 10 Home, 11 Home. So I cannot use RDP. Guys, in the morning, we discussed two ways of connecting to the server. One is your direct approach. What is the direct approach? Once you started the VM, right? So in the Oracle VirtualBox, you will start the VM, right? Once you started the VM will be opened like this, correct? And here you can use Control plus Delete, right? Control plus Delete. In this way, you can log into the server. This is called direct connection. Okay. This is called direct connections where the screen and all will be small. You don't feel a real-time kind of servers. This is direct connection, guys. Directly you are logged into the machine. Another way is RDP. So if RDP is not supporting, don't worry. Don't think doors are closed. Not at all. There are two ways of connecting to the server. One is through direct connection like this. Another way is through RDP. So if RDP is not supporting, nothing to worry. You are going to miss a real-time kind of feeling, but you can happily access the servers. Okay, guys? Clear, everyone? Is it clear? So don't worry, in case if your RDP is not working, you can still directly log into the server by using right control plus delete. As usual, same. Once you logged in, the same kind of interface you can see, you can just start working on it as usual. Like this is the way RDP is one way of connecting to the server. Okay, so in case if RDP is not working, nothing to worry. Your practice is not going to be stopped, guys. You can happily practice by directly logging into the server. Clear, everyone? Clear, guys? Questions, doubts?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. Chalo. So now I'll install the SQL Server. After installing the SQL Server, I'll tell you the pre-checklist of SQL Server. Why? Because we'll use lot of terminologies. Okay, so if I said about service account, we need service account and password in the pre-checklist. You don't know what is service account. So first we'll install the SQL Server. In the meantime, like once we initiated the installation, so by that time you'll get to know, you will have some idea on the terminologies like service account and authentication type, Windows or mixed mode authentication, like different terminologies will be there. So you'll slowly, okay, we'll get an idea on those terminologies, guys. So first we'll install SQL Server, then we'll discuss about the pre-checklist. Sometimes they'll ask you pre-checklist of the SQL Server. Okay, so all these things will be discussed, guys. If I want to install SQL Server, first of all, I should have SQL Server software, right? So
Yes.
in the organization, we will have a shared path. What is that, guys? Shared path. Shared path, okay, is a kind of a network path. From shared path, we will copy the softwares or scripts or other tools to the servers, guys. Okay. So shared path, how it will be, guys? It will be generally double backslash server name or IP address backslash, guys, either server name or IP address. Okay. Either you can see the first part will be server name or it can be a server IP address also. Backslash path, whatever it is, like for example, SQL softwares backslash SQL 2019. SQL 2019. So like this kind of path will be there, guys. I'm just giving an example, just a reference. Shared path, how the shared path look like? The shared path will start with a double backslash. So in every organization, they are going to keep all the SQL related softwares, SQL related tools, and the scripts, regularly used scripts and all, and whatever documents and all, they will keep it in a shared path. So from shared path, we have to copy the software, SQL Server software directly to the server. Like patch files also, updates and all will be there, right? Updates, scripts, patch files, and other tools. Okay. So like for example, there is an update. Okay. There is an update, guys. So that update, what you have to do? So there is an update. So if you want to copy to the, why? Because generally in the server, internet won't work, guys, in the organization. Your servers won't be exposed to the internet. It will be connected via intranet. I'll tell you, Wahab, what is patchful and all. I'll tell you during the patching. We'll discuss. Nothing to worry. Okay. One
Yeah,
minute.
okay.
So all these files, whatever files we will use it regularly, that we cannot download it from the internet in the organization, guys. Internet won't work for the servers. Why? Because if the servers are exposed to the internet, hackers can easily attack the machines. So that's why servers won't be exposed to the internet. So internet will not work in the servers, guys. Internet will not work in the server. So, but you have to copy the softwares, right? If I want to install SQL Server, I have to either download the SQL Server or I have to copy the existing software. So I cannot download it. Why? Because internet will not work. Then how can I copy? Using shared path or network path. Both are same. Shared or network, both are same. So using shared path or network path, okay, will keep all the softwares, tools and all, okay, in the shared path. That shared path, if you don't know, of course you don't know the shared path. In my organization, there is a different shared path. In your organization, there can be a different shared path. So once you got the job, what you have to ask, guys, you have to ask this to your colleagues, hey, please provide me the shared path. Okay. So they will give you some regularly used shared path and all. From the shared path, you can copy the software, guys. Clear, everyone? Is it clear? Everyone, how to copy the softwares to the machines?
Yeah, clear.
So we will
Yeah.
use, yeah, thank you. So we will use a shared path or network path, okay, to copy the softwares, guys, to the servers. The shared path will be like this. It will be like in this format, it will be there. Either it will be like double backslash server name or double backslash IP address kind of shared path will be there. So now what I am going to do, I am going to attach the software. Like last time we have attached Windows operating system, right? So once we attach Windows operating system here, it will be visible in the D drive here. Here it will be visible. This is a Windows OS. Now I want to install SQL Server, right? So before installing the SQL Server, always keep in mind, guys, you have to 1 minute, please don't mind. Hello. Right. Okay. So now what I'm going to do here, earlier we have attached Windows operating system, right? I'll replace that Windows operating system with the SQL Server software. In the organization, I told you, right, we will not have access to this VirtualBox manager. So in the organization, we'll use shared path only. So if you have a shared path, how to copy? Simply take the shared path from your colleagues, go to the server, open run, just paste the shared path here, hit enter. Of course, you will get error. Why? Because we don't have that shared path. Okay, we didn't mention the server name or IP address, nothing we mentioned, right? In this way, you can access the shared path in the organization servers, guys. Right? So now what we are going to do, we are going to directly attach the software, okay, from your Oracle VirtualBox Manager. Go to your laptop, go to your Oracle VirtualBox Manager, go to the machine settings, go to the storage section. Earlier we have attached Windows Server, right? This time I'll attach SQL Server, guys. Click on this, choose virtual optical disk file. Okay. Uh, I hope those who are registered, you all got softwares, guys. So I hope you downloaded the softwares. Keep it in a separate folder. Navigate to that location where you downloaded and all. Okay. 3B roll number 27. Okay, fine. Okay, so now I am going to connect to now I am going to attach SQL 2019 ISO image. Double click on it. Okay, make sure it was replaced. Here earlier it was Windows Server 2019. Now this time this was SQL Server 2019. Click OK. In this way, you can attach SQL Server software. Yes, Vaishnavi? Vaishnavi, can you hear me? Vaishnavi 3B roll number 27.
Connect.
Hello. Okay. Fine. Is it clear? Melody. What happened, Melody? Which one you missed? Okay, so you have to install that Melody. You didn't install right till now, so that's why you don't have that this one softwares and all. You have to install. You have to set up all these things. Okay, don't worry, don't worry. Okay, just go through the previous sessions. So the step-by-step process is there. How to install all these things. You can just go ahead and you can set it up. Not an issue. Okay, fine. Clear, guys, how to attach the software? This we have already discussed earlier. Like we have attached Windows Server, right? In the same way, replace the Windows Server with the SQL Server software. Go to settings and go to your storage section. Click on this disk. Just click on this again. Choose virtual optical disk file. Which software you want to attach? SQL 2019 in our case. Double click on SQL Server 2019. Click OK. Okay, in this way you can attach. Once you attach it here, go to the server. Just refresh this one, my computer, this PC, just refresh this one. Now you can see SQL setup file. Okay. Now that ISO image is attached as a D drive in the server. Any questions, any doubts, guys, so far? Are we good? Right. Yes, Farooq, tell me. Of course, how we have attached SQL 2019 in the same way, you can attach SQL 2020 also. Why you are getting that doubt, Farooq? Why it will not work? Right. Pre-checklist, guys. Okay.
Actually, sir,
So, yes, Farooq, tell me.
actually, sir, you have selected the SQL version 2019. I was thinking that this version might have tested and running
Well,
smoothly.
of course, it will work. It will run.
Okay. What's your advice, sir? We should go for the 2019 or
Farooq,
20,
just follow the
sir?
instructions. Okay. See, anything you can go. Why I'm going with the 2019 so that in the future classes I'll show you how to upgrade from 2019 to 2022. So why
Very nice, sir.
Shanmukh, why you are selecting only 2019? Why
Okay.
don't you select 2022? I'll go as per the
Thank
process.
you, sir. Very nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Vaishnavi, please reconnect Vaishnavi. 1 minute, guys. Right. Okay. So before and after installing the SQL Server, before and after installing the SQL Server, you have to reboot the Windows machine for the smooth installation. Always, guys, keep in mind this is very, very important step. Before installing, not only while installing the SQL Server, even before patching, after patching also, before installing and after installing the SQL Server, you have to restart the Windows Server. Okay, before installing the SQL Server, you have to restart, and after installing the SQL Server also, you have to restart the Windows machine. If you don't restart, what will happen? Windows team will do lot of activities like after configuring the Windows machine. Windows team is going to install a lot of other softwares which needs reboot of the machine, but they don't reboot it. Sometimes, not every case. They don't reboot it. So when you are trying to install SQL Server, that reboot check can be blocked, guys. So it might, okay, it will not allow you to proceed the SQL Server installation. So always the pre-checklist, always before installing the SQL Server and after installing the SQL Server, you have to restart the Windows machine. So I hope you know how to restart. Don't worry, guys. Shanmukh, you said right, we cannot restart and all. You can restart. You cannot shut down, I am saying. You cannot shut down the servers. But when there is a need, like during the installations, during the patchings and all, yes, you can restart the server. Okay, guys? Right. So how to restart? Like your normal laptop, click on this Windows button, just power button and restart it. In this way, you can restart. I'm not going to restart now. Anyhow, it's already restarted earlier. Okay, fine. And one more thing, I want to see since how many hours or days the server is up and running, guys. How can we see that? I want to see this server is up and running since how many days or hours or weeks. How can we check that? Can anyone help me with that?
In task manager,
Very good.
And
Task manager.
CPI.cpl go to
Task manager, then more details. Okay, then performance. Okay, see here, system uptime. So using this option, you can sometimes you want to see when the Windows server is last rebooted, you want to see. So go to task manager and go to performance section, and then in the below under CPU, in the below you can see uptime. So since 7.5 hours, the server is up and running. In the organization, you can see since 200 days. See, this is hours, seconds, minutes, hours, and days. 200 days, 300 days. If the server is not rebooted, sometimes, okay, there will be like kind of performance issues and all. But again, you have to take proper approvals. So before rebooting the server, if you don't take proper approvals, okay, again, it will be escalated, guys. So in this way, you can check since how many hours the server is up and running, guys. Okay, fine. Let me close it. So always it's a good option to reboot the Windows machine to before installing the SQL Server. Now open this SQL setup file. Okay. You can see here one file called setup file, which is the type as application type. Okay. Always, if the type is application, always open the files with run as administrator. This is very, very important, guys. If you don't open the setup files with run as administrator, again, it might create a lot of problems during the installation and all. So from today onwards, any application, if it is an application, always tries to open in an elevation mode, in the elevated mode. Elevated mode in the sense, run as administrator only. Sometimes in the documentation and all, you can see, open this app with a elevated mode, elevated mode, elevated modes. Elevated mode means with run as administrator. Okay, so right click on the setup file, choose run as administrator. Right. So once you open that setup file with run as administrator mode, it will open installation center. This is very important, guys. This is called installation center. So installation center is very important. Lot of tasks we will do using this installation center. Okay. Like SQL Server installation, especially SQL Server installation will do with the help of installation center. And if you want to like, what different types of installations will be there, like sysprep installation and all. So different types of installations will be there. So that also you can do using this installation center. You can also see the documentation part in the installation center, see hardware and software requirements, security documentation, online releases. You can see that. And you can also see some of the options, like if you want to upgrade the SQL Server, okay, there are some options like addition, upgradation and all. If you want to repair the server, you can repair it using this option, okay, repair option and all. So like that, going forward, we'll discuss few things from the installation center that we are going to use it, in what scenarios we'll use installation center, where we are going to use this installation center, and all will be discussed. But installations wise, the first functionality, the important functionality of the installation center is we can install the SQL Server. Okay. So go to installation. Guys, there are two types of installations. One is a standalone installation. Second one is cluster installation. Forget about the cluster installation. We have a separate session on that. What is cluster installation? What is cluster? How it will work? What is the functionality of the cluster? Everything will be discussed. Don't worry about it. The cluster installation. What is standalone? Normally, what is the meaning of standalone, guys? A standalone building means what? Standalone building means what? Normal meaning.
Server.
A single,
Cluster.
right? So installing SQL Server on a single virtual machine is called standalone installation. Installing SQL Server on group of servers is called cluster installation. Okay. Installing SQL Server on a single virtual machine is called a standalone installation. Installing SQL Server on group of virtual machines is called cluster installation. Guys, we are discussing the installation part, so a lot of new terminologies will be there. I'll try to simplify it. If you don't understand also, nothing to worry. Going forward, there will be separate sessions for each and every terminology that we are discussing now. Don't worry at all. So now I want to install SQL Server on a single virtual machine. This is single virtual machine, right? This type of installation is called standalone installation. So you can see here, new SQL Server standalone installation, or if you want to add the features to an existing installation, you have to choose this option. So select this option, guys. I want to install the SQL Server on this virtual machine, right? So I have to choose standalone installation. So once you selected that standalone installation, the setup file will open. These are the left side section. You can see, right? These are all called pages. Product key page, license terms, global rules, Microsoft update. Like these are all different pages. Guys, once you open this setup file, you have to close it or cancel it to install one more installation. Parallelly, you cannot install multiple instances, guys. Are you getting the point? Once you open the setup file, you have to install or you have to cancel it. Parallel, see here, once you opened it, see what happened? This was grayed out. New SQL Server installation was grayed out. That means until you close this, you cannot again, this will not be enabled again. So at a time, we can install one SQL Server, guys, at a time. Once this is finished, you can install one more copy. Okay, right. So now, which edition you want to install? If you remember, in our previous sessions, we discussed different types of editions. Mainly in the organization, nowadays, we'll use 3 editions. One is
Developer edition.
yes,
Standard
very
edition,
good, very good,
Enterprise edition.
very good. Developer edition will install, we are going to install it on dash environments.
Non-product
Very good. Non-production environments will use developer edition. All the production environments will use
mostly enterprise edition.
Enterprise.
very good. Either mostly enterprise edition and maybe sometimes standard edition also will
Standard
be.
edition.
Very good. So now I am going to install developer edition, but the installation is the same process, guys. Shanmukh here showing how to install developer edition. Can you show me how to install enterprise edition? Simply how to give the product key. Process is same, even though it's an enterprise edition or standard edition or developer edition, the process is same, all the components, everything is same. If it is a free edition, you will select this option, you are going to install it. Like developer, we have evaluation, express edition, these editions also we discussed earlier. If it is in a standard or enterprise edition, you have to simply select this. You will have a key separately. We are going to manage all the keys in a tool called Key Vault. Okay, Key Vault. So in the organization, we will have a separate portal for this, or we will have a separate Confluence kind of pages will be there, internal pages will be there. So from there, you can find the key. Okay, so they are not directly it's not like a public that everyone can see. So they are going to maintain it in a separate tool. Okay, so from there you can get the product key and you can give here. If it's an enterprise and standard edition, if it is a free edition, you don't ask any key. So select this free edition, develop edition, and then I'm going to go to next. Every software, of course, we know, right? We have to accept the license terms. So select I accept the license terms, then go to next. See now, these are called global rules. Okay, let me go back again. See, during the installation, it will check whether all the checks are passed or not multiple times. There are few checks. We have our own pre-checklist, like so, but the SQL setup file also will check whether the virtual machine that we are using is suitable to install the SQL server or not. It will also check, guys. So using this global rules section, we have around 8 checks here. All the checks should be either passed or skipped or warning. Means if you see here, the green checks means passed. Warning means warning symbol will be there, like battery warning symbol will be there, right? Like a triangle kind of warning symbol will be there. Skipped means skipped kind of icon will be there. Either it can be passed or warning is also fine, skipped is also fine. But if any of these 8 checks are failed, the next button will be grayed out. For example, restart computer check is failed, guys. Imagine. I told you, right, you have to restart the Windows server. If you don't restart the Windows server before installing SQL Server, what will happen? This restart computer check will be failed. What is the solution, guys, if this is failed?
We need
What
to
is the
restart the
solution? That's
computer.
it. You have to cancel the setup file and you have to restart the Windows server, and again you have to install the SQL Server. Okay. So sometimes these checks will be failed. So these means only mostly restart check will fail. Remaining everything, once we followed the pre-checklist, everything will be successful only. So restart computer, if restart computer check and all is failed, you have to cancel the setup file. You have to restart the Windows machine completely, and then again open the setup file, and then you can go ahead and install, guys. So what I mean to say is, not even one check should be failed here. Either it can be passed or warning or skipped is fine. But even one check is failed, the next button will be grayed out, so which won't allow you to proceed to the next step, guys. Okay. So this is how we'll check the global rules. So in the next screens also you can see some extra global rules and all. Now go to next. This is your update screen. As we are installing SQL Server, SQL Server is also a software. Every software will have updates, right? You are using WhatsApp, you are using PhonePe, you are using some Amazon in your phone. So regularly it will ask to update the apps. Sometimes if automatic updates are on, see that automatic updates, you know, right? What is the meaning of automatic updates? What is the meaning of automatic updates in the phone? In the phone I'm asking, not in the SQL Server. Automatically apps will be updated, right? So you don't even know whether your app is updated or not. In the background, once it has internet connection, automatically it will be updated. All the apps will be updated if you have automatic updates are on. This is also same. If you turn on this, if any updates are there, it will be updated, guys. It will be applied the update. But the challenge is, once you enable the automatic updates on, if you don't have internet, is it going to work, guys? No, right? Automatic updates on means from where it will download? From the internet only, right? If your phone doesn't have internet, is it going to be updated? The apps? No. So the servers doesn't have internet connection. So there is no use of selecting this option. If you have internet connection, then you can select Microsoft updates. But the servers doesn't have internet connection, right? So it cannot download the update. So you can simply skip this step. Clear? Any questions so far, guys? Don't hesitate, please. You can ask if you have any questions.
Yeah, Shanmugh, I have a doubt regarding product key
Yeah, tell me.
and license. Yeah, if you mentioned that for product key, they in organization they will maintain separate keyboard, right?
Yes, yes.
If something is not, if they might miss the product key, then how we can get back the product key
See, we
Is
are
there any?
99% is we are maintaining using some portals, right? So there is no chance of missing the product key. But again, see, if you bought the license from the Microsoft, they are going to provide you the product keys and all. You can contact the Microsoft support, okay, in case if you missed any product key.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, for license terms also, is there any regard as we are a SQL DBS for pre-licensing sales,
That,
pre-sales? So for
yeah,
that, we will take
no.
care regarding that
We are
issue.
not going to take care of the sales and all, licensing and all, product keys and all. There is a separate sales team in the organization. Not only SQL
Okay.
softwares, they will buy a lot of softwares. The key management and all will be taken care by the sales department. So you can check with the sales department, okay? Or else
Okay.
simply 99% they are going to maintain a safe, okay, a kind of locker. Still, if it is missed, you can check with the sales team. Still, from there also, if it was missed, you can contact the customer care, Microsoft customer support. They are going to help you with the product key.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Questions, guys? Right. Okay, so I'm not going to select any Microsoft update. There is no use of selecting it. Simply you can go to next. Anyhow, after installation, we'll patch the SQL servers. We are going to apply the latest updates. So manually we have to do that step. Okay, so nothing to worry about the Microsoft update. So you can simply skip it. You can go to next. Now what it is doing now, it is installing some setup files. It is preparing the ground to install the SQL servers by installing some setup files. So now it is going to install some setup files, and then once the installation process is done, just the setup files it is installing. Now it is not installing SQL server. Whatever setup files needs to install the SQL server, those setup files it is installing now. Once it's done, we can go to next. Until then, the next button will be grayed out. Right. Okay. So again, these are all some more checklists. Okay. So again, now 3 passed, 1 warning, skipped 0. So nothing to worry. As we don't have any failed checks, you can proceed to next, guys. Go to next. So listen carefully. This is very important screen. Here you can see two sections actually. This is called feature selection screen. What and all features you have to select. You can choose the features here. If you remember, in the beginning of the session, we discussed one point. SQL Server is a database software. By using the software, what we can do, guys? What we can do by using the software?
Retrieve the data, process the data,
Very
and
good. We can
migrate it.
store, we can process, and we can retrieve the data. So to store, to process, to retrieve, we need one component called database engine. Database engine is the important component, guys. Database engine is a kind of a brain of the SQL server. The whole mechanism, the processing, the retrieving, storing, the whole mechanism will be performed in the database engine. So if you are installing SQL Server means you have to install database engine. That's like a car engine. Without engine, car will not run, right? Car or bike, nothing will run. Okay. If you want to make use of the SQL Server, you have to install the database engine. Database engine is the heart of the SQL Server as discussed earlier. Okay. So in this section, actually, you can see two areas. One is specific features. Let me do one thing and let me take this one. Right. This is your specific features, guys. This part is your specific features. And if you go down, you can see shared features. So what is the difference between specific features and shared features? Listen carefully. Okay, what is the difference between specific features and shared features? For example, you are staying in a PG. So if you are staying in a PG, what are your specific things you will carry and what are the shared things that will be there in the PG, guys? Can you tell me? PG means paying guest, or we can say hostel. Okay, hostel or PG. If you are staying in a hostel, what are the specific things you will carry and what are the shared things that will be provided by the hostel management, guys? Tell me. Tell me, guys.
Specific like our clothes,
Yes.
bed
Next.
sheets,
Very good.
our own like a brush,
Your
whatever the things
personals,
we use for personal things, it's like
your
a specific.
laptop.
Shared like a washing machines where we can share with others.
Very good. So
So
specific.
Wi-Fi, all
Very
these
good.
things are,
Very
yeah.
good, Tabassum. Specific means your personal laptop, your personal phone, your clothes, whatever belongings, your brush, everything. So these copies will be existed once per user, correct? The phone is separate. If in a PG, in a room, if 3 people are there, each person will have his own laptop, his own iPhone, whatever phone, his own phone, and his own clothes and all, correct? Those are the specific things of that person. Shared means washing machine, Wi-Fi, anything like refrigerator, TV,
TV,
fan, AC. These are all shared things. So if you joined in a PG, all the whatever shared features are there that you are going to use it. Simply you are going to carry your specific things, correct? Guys, why we are discussing this means in one Windows server, I can install 50 SQL Server copies. How many, guys? We can install 50 SQL Server copies in a Windows machine. Up to 50. That doesn't mean you can install, you have to install 50. Up to 50 you can install. Okay. Each copy of SQL Server is called, can anyone tell me?
Instance.
Very good. Very good. SQL instance. As a DBA, from now onwards, you cannot call it as a SQL server. You have to call it as a SQL instance. SQL instance. Like that, I can install 50 instances in one Windows machine. Clear, guys? I can install 50 instances in a standalone machine. But Shanmukh, how many we are going to install generally? The recommended is mostly one. Why we don't install multiple copies? There are a lot of reasons. If you install 2 or 3, if you restart the Windows server, all 2-3 instances will go down, correct? Right? So the downtime will be increased. So if you want to install, you can install to save the money and all. But what will happen if there is a chance, if there is a problem to the Windows machine? Okay, in this Windows server, I can install 50 SQL servers. But if this is rebooted, all the 50 SQL servers will be rebooted, right? All the applications that are associated with all 50 instances will be down. Lot of downtime will be there. So that's why even though we can install 50 instances in the organization, no one will use up to 50. Hardly only one they will install. Sometimes you can see 2-3 copies. Rarely you can see more than 3 copies. Up to 5 you can see, that's it. If you are installing one more instance means there is a lot of risk. The risk is also going to increase, guys. Is it clear now, everyone? Everyone, is it clear?
Yes.
Any questions?
No.
Okay. Fine. So if you go back now, so 50 means, imagine this is a PG. Batch 57 is a PG. In this PG, 50 students can stay. Clear? In this PG, 50 students can stay. So all 50 students, they will have their own specific things and shared features also. So if you see here, the first part is specific features. So for every copy, I have to choose database engine. It's mandatory. If you want SQL Server, you have to choose database engine. It's mandatory, guys. SQL Server also can be used for analysis purpose, reporting purpose, integration purpose. Analysis means to analyze the data. Reporting means you can generate a reports using SQL Server data, whatever data is there, SQL Server, you can generate the reports. Integration means you can integrate data from different sources, like from Excel sheet to SQL Server, CSV files to SQL Server, SQL servers to Excel sheet. To integrate the data from different sources, we'll use integration services. Apart from database engine, if you need any analysis services, reporting services and all, you can choose here. See, analysis services. If you choose analysis services will be installed. Earlier, we should have a reporting services also. Before 2016, reporting services also you can see in this list, like analysis, reporting services also you can see. Integration services you can see here. But nowadays, those features are separated. See, reporting services, if you want, means again you have to download it separately. Okay, so if anyone is asking, do you have an idea of SSIS, RS and AS? SSIS, SQL Server Integration Services. SSRS, SQL Server Reporting Services. SSAS, SQL Server Analysis Services. Tell them that you know how to install the components. How to install it, guys? Simply select this analysis services. For integration, simply select this integration services and all. For reporting, download it from the Google, or download it from the web, and you can install it. Tell them that you know how to install the SSIS, RS, AS and all. Generally, working with SSIS, RS, AS is not our duty. Okay. There is a separate team called business analyst. For their purpose, for them, we are going to install SSIS, RS and AS. IS sometimes we'll use it. But in the organization, what these people will do, anyhow, those are part of the SQL components, right? So they will ask whether you have any idea on SSIS, RS and all. Tell them clearly, tell them that I can install the components, but in our organization, we are not using any IS, RS and AS. Yes, Vaishnavi, any questions? Vaishnavi, can you hear me? Right, guys? Fine. I'll keep you mute, Vaishnavi. If you have any questions, you can unmute and you can ask. Or else you can type in the chat also. Fine. So to install a SQL Server, first of all, we should install database engine, guys. This is very important. And then you can also select replication. Replication is a feature. I'll tell you what replication will do, what is the use of the replication and all. Apart from that, full text semantic search. This will be used to search the data. This is also an important component. So these three are very important components to install the SQL Server. I told you, right? We can install 50 copies. For each copy, you have to select this. Now I am installing a first copy. Second time, if I want to install, I have to again select these three copies. I told you, right? These are the specific things like a cell phone, laptop, clothes and all. If second person is joining in the PG, he has to bring his own laptop, his own cell phone, his own personals and all. So first time I'm installing, so I have to select these three components. And then next time, if I want to install SQL Server again I have to select these three components. Those three are belongs to second copy of database engine, second copy of replication, second copy of full text, guys, for second instance. Clear, everyone? Any questions so far, please? So like that, if you are installing 10 times, 10 times you have to choose these three. Generally, we don't do that, but 2-3 times means 2-3 times you have to select these features. These are specific features. Now come back to shared features like Wi-Fi, washing machine, refrigerator. So only once, right? The hostel is going to provide you these copies for once. If any new person joined in the PG, they don't again buy a new washing machine, they don't again buy a new TV and all. They don't again set up a new Wi-Fi and all. Whatever existing features are there that you have to use. So for the first time, you have to select shared features. When you are trying to install the second copy, no need to select. This will be already installed, like Wi-Fi, TV, refrigerator and all. Only for the first time, you have to choose the shared features, guys. Apart from this, what shared features we have to choose? Client tools connectivity, client tools backward compatibility, client tools SDK, SQL client connectivity SDK. Okay. Wherever you can see client, select it, guys. Client tools connectivity, client tools backward compatibility, client tools SDK, SQL client connectivity SDK. These four are common shared features that we are going to choose, guys. Just remember these four common shared features. Earlier, if it is older version like 2005 and all, there is one more option called management tools. You have to select that management tools also. If it is like older versions, 2005, 2008, up to 2012, you can see management tools here. Select that. In the management tools, you will have SSMS, Management Studio and all. But from 2016 and all, the management tools are separated. So nothing to worry about it. So only these four shared features you have to choose, guys. Again, if I want to install second SQL Server, do I need to choose these components, guys, again?
No need.
Why? Why?
These are shared features, no? So no need to
These are
select those.
shared features. I told you right just
Once,
now.
yeah, once it's installed, it will be on the machine only. So no need to
Correct.
download it again inside.
Correct. Okay. So only for the first time, we are going to choose these components. Second time and all, even though you want to choose, it won't allow you. It will be grayed out simply. Okay. But if you want to install second SQL Server, you have to choose these three. Third SQL Server, you have to choose these three. Okay, guys, clear? These are all the features. So where you want to install these features? So in the C drive, this is called instance root directory. Either you can use C drive or you can also
D
use
drive.
D drive and all. In the organization, we will have separate drives for that. Okay, D drive, C drive. If you want to change the drive, simply click on the browse button. This is browse button. You can choose whatever drive, in which drive you want to set up this, you can choose that one. So don't, okay, change this, keep it as it is for now. These are all like how much storage you need, how much you have. You can see C drive, it needs minimum 1736 MB, but you have 14,000 MB. Happily you can install. You have adequate free space, so happily you can install. So this is all about the feature selection screen, guys. Any questions, doubts here? Any questions, doubts?
Yeah, I have a doubt.
Yeah, Tabassum.
As it is a standalone, right? So it is a basic installation we are doing. Here also we need to select the instance feature like SQL Server replication.
Yes, we have to see replication is mandatory. Okay. If you in the standalone also see replication copies are standalone instances only. Okay, replication features, if you know what is replication and all, I hope you already knows what is replication, but others don't know, right? So don't worry, guys. So every standalone installation will have a replication feature. Using this replication, we can replicate the data simply in other server. So standalone replication supports like on standalone and cluster also. So you have to choose the replication. If you don't choose, nothing will happen. Replication will not work. Again, you have to come back, guys. I forgot to select one feature here. Next time, can I select the feature, guys? Once installation is finished, can I select the same feature or
Yes.
can I install the same
Yes.
feature?
No.
No? Try it, guys. Yes or no, try it. Just type your answers in the chat. I forgot to select one feature now. Installation is successful. After installing, I want to again add the features. So is it possible to add the features after the installation?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Right.
Shamal, can you throw more light on that text, that
Which one?
feature, please?
Which one? Which one?
The semantic text. Can you go back?
Semantic means it will help you to search the data. That's it. Just we'll use the SQL Server to search the data, right? So using semantic search, we can search the data. Okay. And see guys here. So Wahab said no and Anila also said no. If you see here, new SQL Server standalone installation or add features to an existing installation. If you remember this line, now tell me guys, can I install the features after the installation also?
Yes.
Yes.
I can see no Wahab. Maybe after that he changed. Okay, no issues. 84, right?
I said yes. Can you please check text?
Earlier you said no, right? 84.
No.
Maybe for
I
the
said-
previous answer or what? Okay.
No, sir. I said yes only.
At 84, I can see no direct message to me. Okay, that's fine. Okay.
No means you said do you have any questions? So
Oh, okay.
for that one, I
you
text
said
you.
no. Okay, okay.
Yes,
Fine.
yes.
Fine. So guys, yes, in case even though you missed any features, later also you can install it by selecting the same option. You can, Vaishnavi, any questions you have, Vaishnavi? Please unmute and tell me. Vaishnavi, are you talking? I can't hear you, Vaishnavi. If you are like, 1 minute. Yeah, any questions you have? Okay, so do you have my number, Vaishnavi? No, you don't have my number? Getting echo. Okay, so we'll do one thing. I'm going to mute you. Don't unmute. If you have any questions, you can type the answers or questions in the chat. Okay, I'm getting echo from you. I'm typing my number directly to you. Just ping me. I don't have your number. Okay, just ping me in the WhatsApp. We'll discuss. Fine. So if you have any questions, you can just type your questions in the chat, Vaishnavi. Fine. So now let's go back, guys. Right. So now is it clear? So in case if you miss any feature also, later you can add the features by selecting the particular section. So this is how you can select the feature selections and all. These are the main features you have to select, guys. To install the SQL Server, these are the main features you have to select. These are from specific side. These are from shared side. Right. Okay, now let me go to next. Just now we discussed it, right? Right. So just now we discussed it, right? Instance. What is an instance, guys? One SQL Server software copy is called one instance. Like that, we can install up to 50 SQL Server software copies in one Windows machine. So 50 instances. There are two types of instances. One is default instance. Second one is named instance. So what is the difference between default and named, guys? Listen carefully. What is the difference between default and named? Okay. Two types of instances. One is default, named instance. So default instance, guys, functionality wise, both are same. There is no difference at all actually. Functionality wise, what a default instance will do, named instance also will do the same thing. What a named instance will do, default instance also will do the same thing. Functionality wise, there is no differences at all between default and named. Default instance, it will use the computer name, while connecting to the SQL server. Okay, so that is the only advantage with the default instance. Default instance, it will use the computer name. See, for every, as I said, 50 instances we can install, in the sense every instance will have a name, right? Every SQL server will have a name. Otherwise, how to connect to that particular instance? With the name only, right? So while naming, if you choose default instance, it will directly take the computer name. So no need to provide any specific name, guys. If you choose named instance, you have to give the instance name. Like, you have to give a name for every instance. Second instance, you can give one name. Third instance, you can give another name. Like that, you have to give the name. Manually, you have to give the name. Default instance, computer name it will take. Whereas named instance, okay, you have to give the name manually. So how many default instances and named instances we can install in a Windows machine, guys?
One default instance,
One
49.
default and 49 named instance.
Very good. So why one default instance?
A computer has
Computer
machine
name
has
is
a
one.
Very good. Okay. So now, as I said, 50 instances we can install, right? Out of 50, one default instance we can install. We can install only one default instance in a Windows machine. Only one default instance in a Windows machine. Now I have a quick question for all of you. Type your answers in the chat. Direct message to me. Okay. Now I am installing SQL Server 2019 default instance. Of course, we can install only one default instance per machine. Can I install another default instance of another version, SQL 2022? Yes or no? Type your answers in the chat. Of course, we can install only one default instance, but I want to install 2022 default instance. Now I am installing 2019 default instance. Can I install 2022 default instance in the same Windows machine? I need participation, guys, please. Yes or no, you can just tell me, okay? No issues. If you don't know, Inky Pinky Ponky is there, Akpak Karvepak is there, anything you can choose.
Samuk, what was the question?
Can I install one more default instance of another version?
No.
Type your answer, Hari.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So Sharath said yes. Remaining all are no. Why Sharath? Is it Inky Pinky Ponky? Yes.
Yes, sir. Akpak Karvepak.
Akpak Karvepak. Yes. Very good. Fine. So the answer is no, guys. Okay. The answer is no. Very simple. See, in our participants, we have 20 participants. For example, if we have two Anilas, Anila Reddy Kasam is there. With the same name, one more Anila Reddy Kasam is there. Imagine. So if I call Anila, who will respond? Two Anilas are there. If I call Anila, who will respond? What is the best case and what is the worst case? Best case, both will respond. Worst case, both will not respond. Why? One Anila will think maybe he is calling the other Anila, and the same vice versa. So in a Windows machine, if two instances existed with a single name, it will be difficult to connect. Why? Because it will take the computer name, right? Computer name will not be shared. So that's why you cannot install one more default instance in a Windows machine. Is it clear, everyone? Only one default instance in a Windows machine. One Windows machine, one default instance, irrespective of the versions also. Questions, doubts so far? Once you install the default instance, that slot will be closed. The computer name will be allocated. So next time, as there is no computer name, so the other 49 instances are named instances only. It should be named instances only. Clear? Now I have a quick question. Yes, yes, please, Farooq.
I have doubt, sir.
Yes, yes.
Sir,
One by
it,
one, one by one.
sir, it means that the very first instance
Very good, very good, very good. Let me complete. Let me
must
complete.
be a
I'll
default
tell.
instance.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Guys, it's not mandatory to install a default instance for the first time or named instance for the first time. It's your wish. It can be a default, it can be a named for the first time. Okay. So no one will ask you, you have to install default only, named only. No. So it can be a default instance. The very first installation also can be a default or also can be a named installation. Right? Clear, Farooq?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Wahab.
Yes, sir. If I installed a named instance in 2019 version,
Hmm.
can we use both? I mean, same instance in 2022 version also?
Can we use same instance? What it
Yeah.
means?
I mean, named instance.
Your question is not valid. You
Yeah.
installed 2019 named instance.
Yes.
Then
Okay.
where the 2022 will come?
I mean, I'm asking you.
One more 2022 named instance you're asking?
No.
Okay.
Can I use same name instance in 2022 version also?
Okay. Can I use same name for the 2022 version?
Yes, yes.
Oh, got it, got it. Again, the same discussion. Imagine if two instances with the same name, okay, if two instances are there with the same name, while connecting, if you give the instance name, to which instance it will connect, 2019 instance or 2022 instance? You tell me. You will connect to the, why? How come you are determining? How come you are deciding it will connect to 2019?
Why? Because I installed in 2019 version only now, so that's why.
Then why you are using 2022? So if your question is, Shanmukh, can I install 2019 named instance, 2022 named instance with the same name? If it is the question, the answer is no. No instance names can be duplicated. That's why even default instance also, if it can be duplicated, we can install multiple default instances, right?
Yes.
Irrespective of the versions, instance names cannot be duplicated. Very simple statement.
Yeah, okay.
Questions, guys? Now I have a quick question for all of you. Okay, be ready. Okay. I installed I installed the default instance. Now I want to convert the default instance to named instance. Is it possible or not? Yes or no? Type your answers. Don't tell your answers. I installed a default instance. Later I want to convert it. The same instance I want to convert it to named instance. Is it possible or not possible? Yes or no? Mauni? Yeah, Mauni, can you hear me?
Oh, yes. Yes, Babar.
So, is it clear? Any doubts, questions?
No doubts. I understand.
Is it overloading, Mauni?
No.
Fine, right? No issues, right?
Yes. No issues.
Guys, you might feel like kind of overloading as this is the installation, lot of things will be there, but don't worry, okay? Next time, second time, third time, try to like concentrate and try to listen it so that don't worry about it. You can easily get it, okay? So one by one, slowly it will be unlocked, okay? Oh, Tabassum, yes, but need to take the backups and restore it again with another name. Okay. Right. Okay, guys. So the answer, most of you said no. Okay. So Vaishnavi, please. You are not responding to my messages. Okay, fine. And most of you said no. Good, Sharath again. Sharath said 819, right? Yes.
Because we can add or customize the instance, no, sir. That's why I said yes.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought again it was Inky Pinky Ponky. Okay, fine.
No,
Fine,
sir.
fine. Okay. So the answer is no, guys. You cannot convert a default, the existing default instance to named instance, or vice versa. Named instance to default instance also not possible. The same instance you cannot convert. If it's a default instance, it will be default instance only. If it's a named instance, it will be named only. You cannot convert. There is no switch kind of thing. Okay, so you cannot convert. So whatever Tabassum you just mentioned, yes, that is a different way of approach. Okay, like again backup restore kind of migration, but good attempt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's completely going to change the meaning of the question.
Yeah.
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 Yes, Anila, we need to reinstall if we want to switch, correct. But again, there is no direct approach to change. Okay, so we cannot change the default to name, name to default, guys. Fine. Are we good about the instances, default named instances? So there are some specification in naming the servers. Again, in the organization, you have to name the servers. As I said earlier, while naming the objects, please follow the standardization. In the organization will follow some standards, guys. Like it includes application name, server name, data center name kind of things. Don't give your own names, right? We have different names, right? Our personal names and all, Smiley, Ravi, okay? Whatever, like girls, different names will be there, right? So don't give such kind of names, guys. Just the standards will be there. You can go and check the other instance names, how the names of other instances. So based on that, you can give standard, guys. In the organization, while installing, there is one more sheet called build sheet. What is this build sheet, guys? Build sheet means, see, now you have selected database engine, replication, full text and all. You just skip the some of the features. We are installing SQL Server for the application purpose. If application people is asking for extra features, you have to select the features also. So they cannot come to you, hey, install this feature, install that feature. They cannot come to you and they cannot tell. They will fill the build sheet, whatever features they need, they will include in that build sheet. So you have to have a build sheet before installing SQL Server. In that build sheet, that is a standard document. They will mention what should be the name of the instance, which version you need, what components you want to install, whether you need a default instance or named instance. Everything will be defined in that build sheet. So blindly you have to follow the build sheet. So Shanmukh, which one I have to use, either default or named? Who is going to take the decision? So application team will tell you whether they need a default instance or named. If they don't tell, always you have to prefer a default only for the first time. Are you getting the point, guys? If they didn't mention whether it is a default or named instance, you have to prefer a default instance first, then named instance. So whatever features that you are selecting, again, these are the basic features, the important features. Even if they don't mention in the build sheet, still you can select those features. If they need extra features, they will mention the build sheet. They will mention the server names in the build sheet. They will mention what and all version and all the things they are going to mention the build sheet. As per the build sheet, you have to proceed, guys. So default instance, you can see here, default instance will automatically take the computer name. So it don't ask the computer name, but you can see instance ID. What is instance ID, guys? I'll tell you. Instance ID is actually a folder name. When you are installing SQL Server, it will create some folders in the C drive, okay, program files, this PC, C drive, program files, Microsoft SQL Server. See here, Microsoft SQL Server. Here it will create some folders. If it is a default instance, it will create a folder with the MS SQL Server. If it is a named instance, it will create a folder with the name of the instance. Okay, I'll show you later. Default instance, right? If you want to install named instance, choose named instance, you have to give the name. While naming, you have to follow the standards. What are the standards? The name shouldn't be build sheet, it will have all the inputs of the installation, and app team will fill this build sheet. So you have to get the build sheet from the app team. They are going to attach this build sheet in the request. The service now request is there, right? They are going to attach this build sheet in the request, guys. So naming convention, it shouldn't be more than 16 characters. The instance name shouldn't be more than 16 characters. It should starts with alphabets. Okay, it should start with alphabets only. We cannot give 2019 SQL Server. Is it a valid server name, guys? 2019 SQL Server. If you want to give the name here, can you give 2019 SQL Server?
No.
No, why? It should start with alphabets only.
Alphabets.
Okay. Can I give name like this?
Yes.
Yes, we can give. Why? Because it started with alphabets. Okay, you can give the number, but not in the beginning. You have to give only alphabets in the beginning. Later you can give. And it shouldn't include
Special character.
special characters like, okay, special characters except dollar underscore, dollar and underscore. It will accept only these two special characters in the instance name. Other than that, if you give any special character, it won't accept, guys. Like SQL Server @ Is it a valid instance name, guys? Is it a valid instance name?
No.
Why?
No.
Because @ is not a valid special character. And is it a valid instance name?
Yes.
Yes.
Very good. Is it a valid instance name?
No.
No.
No. Why? Because it should starts with alphabets only.
Alphabet.
And is it a valid instance name, guys?
No.
No.
Why?
Space is also.
There is a space.
It will come under special character.
Very good. Okay. Space is also a special character. Okay. And is it a valid instance name?
No.
No.
Is it a valid instance name?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Kalyani, no. Why? So this is a valid instance name. Underscore, it will accept. Dollar also, it will accept. Now tell me, is it a valid instance? Type your answer in the chat. Is it a valid instance name or not? Mauni, yes. Anila, no. Kalyani, Vaishnavi, why? Yeah. Okay, yes. Okay, Sunita, yes. Gopinath, yes. Rohini, yes. B, yes, yes. No. Wahab, no. Kalyani, yes. Okay. Farooq, yes. Okay. So the answer is yes, guys. Okay. Yes. That's a valid name. And this one is a valid or not?
Valid.
Valid. Okay. This is also a valid name, guys. Actually, I tried B57, but it is not allowing. Why it is not allowing, guys? I'm typing now. It's not allowing. Any idea?
More than 16 characters,
Yes,
maybe.
More than
very
16
good.
characters.
Very good, very good, very good. Okay, so now it's 16 characters if you calculate. So even though I'm just typing, still it is not allowing, still it is not taking, guys. So you can give up to 16 characters in the instance name. Okay, that is all about the instance name specifications, guys. Questions, doubts? So I'm selecting default instance. Okay, and in this box you can see if any instances are already installed. till now we didn't install any instances, so this box is empty. Next time while installing, you can see some entries will be there. The installation entries will be there. Okay. I'm going to next, guys, and take a break. Come back after 15 minutes. We'll discuss the other things. Okay. Yeah, I'll be back in 15 minutes, guys. Right. Okay. So now this is the another important screen, guys, called service account. What is the service account? What is the use of the service account? How many types of service accounts are there? What exactly a service account will do? We will discuss, guys. Again, I'll go back to the standard definition. SQL Server is a database software which will be used to store the data, to process the data, to retrieve the data. Store means how it is going to store, guys. It has to write the data to the disk, correct? Correct. Now, for example, I just opened this PC. Imagine I just opened this PC. When I opened this PC, I'm just going inside C drive. Can you tell me who is actually accessing C drive now? I'm just going inside the C drive, right? From this PC, I'm again going inside the C drive. Who is actually going inside the C drive, guys? Tell me. Who is going inside the C drive?
Admin user.
Yes, please. Someone said correct.
Operating system.
Admin.
User
Admin.
Very good, very good. Super, super. Who connected to the server, guys? See here. Administrator connected and he opens C drive and he's going inside the C drive. How he can access the C drive? Because he has access to open the C drive and every folder. We don't observe this at any time. If he is creating one folder here means who is creating actually a folder here? Control Shift N. Okay. Something folder I am creating. Who is actually creating the folder? Administrator. Because I logged into this machine using administrator account. So whatever he is doing now, the administrator is doing. So can he create the folder if he don't have permissions, guys?
No.
No, right? So who is entering inside the folder? Who is writing the data? Creating means writing, right? Writing the data to the disk. Who is doing these things, guys? Your
The admin.
administrator is doing. So, but I will not be available continuously, right? So one account should be there. So what SQL Server will do? It will write the data to the disk. Whatever data that is coming from the application, it will write the data to the disk. How it will write? Using service account, it will write the data to the disk. Using service account, it will read the data from the disk. As per the Windows architecture, every service in the Windows operating system should have a service account. For example, I'll give this example, guys. Antivirus software is there. How antivirus software will work, everyone knows, guys, how it will work generally. How an antivirus software will work, you know that?
No.
Okay. So how it will work generally, antivirus software will maintain its own database with virus related extensions. Some extension is there, .xyw extension is there. Imagine .xyw is a virus extension. What your antivirus software will do, it will keep scanning each and every folder of each file. It will compare the extensions of all the files in this folder is matching with the extensions of what it is having in its database. XYW is equal to XYZ. So both are matching or not. If both are not matching, that is not a virus affected file. If both are matching, that extension file is a virus file. So it will mark all the virus that like that one extension, like that hundreds of extensions will be there in the antivirus software. It will compare each and every file. It will check the extensions. If the extension is matching, it will mark it as a virus. Correct? After scanning the system, finally it will prepare a report. Hey, Shanmukh, we found 50 virus in your virus files in your system. You want me to remove the files. If you choose remove, what will happen? What will happen, guys? All the 50 extensions files will be deleted from your system. Delete means what? A write operation. So who is reading the data? Who is writing the data on behalf of that antivirus software?
The authorized user.
The service account. Okay. So every service should run on a service account. So where we can see, Shanmukh, if you go and see in the services.msc, I can see all the services in the Windows machine services.msc. Every service should run on any. Why? Because every service, either it will read the data or it will write the data, anything it will do. So an administrator or a user continuously cannot do, right? So we'll attach one service account here. See, every service, if you see the logon section, every service is running on one service account. If you click on this logon section, you can see local service is one service account, local system is one service account, network service is one service account. See, all the services are running based on these three service accounts. These are three default service accounts. Are you getting the point, guys? So even though you don't observe sometimes when you're not only sometimes, okay, when we are installing anything in the Windows laptop, either for example, you're installing Zoom, you don't observe, or you're installing an antivirus, you don't observe, but you are not selecting any service account and all. By default, it will take a default service account from any of the three service accounts. These are the default service account. There are two types of service accounts. One is default, second one is customized service account. So now is it clear, guys, what service account will do? Service account is an account which will help you to run the service. The read and write operations of that particular application will be performed by the service account. Everyone, is it clear? Questions? So that is the importance of the service account. But other softwares, it will not give any feasibility to choose the service account. But SQL Server is the priority software. I can, if I don't select the service account, SQL Server, it will see here. You can see here, this is your virtual service account. If you don't give anything, still SQL Server will be installed with these service accounts. But it's not a recommended practice. We'll give our own customized service accounts. Why we will give our own customized service account? Why, Shanmukh? Already three workers. These are the three workers. Three maids. Imagine three maids are there. Imagine this is the whole building. In this building, lot of services are running. For these services, to make sure they are up and running and to make sure the functionality of each service, three maids are there. So if I am installing SQL Server with the same service account, what will happen, guys? Already three maids are there. They are already busy with other services. But SQL Server is the priority software. It has to write the data, read the data on a priority basis. So if I allocate the same default service accounts, there might be a performance issues. For example, in a room, if one person is staying and he has a maid, that maid is coming daily and she is washing the clothes and she is preparing the food, she is cleaning the dishes and all, everything she is doing. She can complete all these works in an hour. But one person, again, extra person joined in the same room. She can complete the same work within an hour, guys, for these two people? No, right? If another person is added, means extra clothes will be there, extra utensils will be there. So that 1 hour will become 1 hour 15 minutes. If third person is added, 1 hour 30 minutes it will take to complete the works. If people are adding, time to complete the work also will be increased. Correct, guys? So if you are using the same service accounts, default service accounts, to write the data, while writing and reading the data, it might be busy with other services. So there might be a chance of getting performance issues. It will read and write the data slowly. So that's why we don't recommend the default accounts. We'll use customized service accounts. So initially I'll install SQL Server with the default accounts. Later I'll show you how to change the service account, that you should know. Straight away I can change the service account now. But after installing also, you should know how to change the service account. Can we change the service account after installation? Yes. The answer is yes. Service account is different and SA account is different, Kalyani. Okay, both are not same. Service account is different. SC account is completely different. Guys, are we good with service accounts? Very important. Sometimes they might ask you this in the interviews also. What is service account? Service account is an account which will help you to run the service. All the read and write operations will be performed by the service accounts. There are two types of service accounts: inbuilt service accounts, customized service accounts. Inbuilt, like we will get it with the installation. Customized, we can make an account as a service account. Our own service account we can create and we can make that account as a service account. Clear, guys? Are we good?
Yes, sir. Yes. Fine.
Right. So startup type, every service, if you see here, startup type, you can see here, there are different startup types. Manual is there, automatic is there, automatic delayed start is there, disabled is there. So startup type means what, guys? When you restart the whole Windows server, the services will be started automatically if you set up automatic. If it is manual, sometimes you have to start. It won't start with a server automatically. You have to manually start. If it is disabled, it will not run. Okay, again you have to enable and you have to make it active, then only it will run. So these are the startup types. So as SQL Server is a priority software, the startup type should be automatic only every time. Okay. Agent service, database engine service, full text service, browser service. I'll explain each and every service post installation, what and all services will be created, what and all folders will be created. There is a separate session. Maybe tomorrow morning we'll discuss those things. Okay. Fine, guys. So far, are we good? Any questions, doubts? Right. Now let's go to collation settings. Collation in the sense language settings, guys. What kind of language you want to use to store the data inside this SQL server? There are different languages it will accept. We have Chinese language, we have Arabic language, we have Dutch, we have Japanese language, French language, okay, Korean language. Like that, we have different languages. So you can see some Hindi websites, Hindi news channels, Hindi newspapers, like Hindi websites. So you can see what kind of data you are storing. Okay, so like that, Hindi or Telugu or whatever languages. Unfortunately, we don't have Hindi here. Okay, I don't know in which version they will include Hindi, but like that. Okay, we have different languages, but again we'll use only default collation setting, which will be SQL Latin 1 General CP1 CIAS. Interview question: what is the collation setting? What is the default collation setting? Collation settings are nothing but language settings. What kind of language it will accept in the database? Okay, that is called collation. The default collation setting will be SQL Latin 1 General CP1 CIAS. CP1 means code page 1. CI means case insensitive. AS means accent sensitive. This is the default collation setting. If you want to change, you can change it using customize option. You can choose this. You can whatever language you want, you can choose from here. Okay. That is all about your collation settings. Can I change the collation settings after the installation of SQL Server? Can I change language settings after SQL Server installation?
Yes, sir.
Guess it, guys, guess it.
Yes.
What about others?
I think no.
Definitely, sir, we can change.
Farooq is very confident.
Sir, there may be requirement that we need to store the data in a different languages in the future so that we can, I think there must be an option to change the database language setting.
See, during installation, if you are decided to store the data in your own language, generally, while installing itself, you can choose that language, correct? But after the installation, you decided to store the language in Chinese. But after the installation, you decided again you want to go back to English language. So now installation is done, but now you want to change the language settings. Is it possible?
Yes, sir.
So the straight away answer is no. Again, there is no setting kind of thing to change the language settings after the installation. You can do using different approaches like migration kind of thing. Okay, but straight away there is no such option. sometimes they will tell you you can use registry keys and all. Registry keys is a separate OS level component. It's not recommended. But straight away answer is no, you cannot change the collation settings. But customer, anyhow, I need a separate collation settings. Then there is a way, different approach is there, but that is not recommended practice. You can do it using migration. Means completely you have to rebuild the instance, new instance with new collation settings. But straight away, you cannot change the collation settings after the installation. During installation, you can give your own, but after the installation, it will not allow you to change the collation settings. Okay. Tell them the same thing in the interviews also, you have to explain the same. Can we change the collation settings after the installation? Straight away, we cannot change it. But yes, using migration, you can completely rebuild the instance with required respect to collation settings and all like that you can tell guys. Chalo, that is all about your collation settings. Go to next.
Yeah, Shanmukh. In the
Yes.
previous services, there you have not checkbox is a grant for in
I'll
IFS,
tell you
right?
that will be discussed in the performance tuning. Tabassum.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. See, wantedly, I'll ignore few points. Why? Because if we discuss that now, maybe that is the initial stage. You cannot understand. So after getting knowledge on some of the topics, we'll cover the points, whatever I'm skipping. There I am going to cover those points. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Next is authentication. Don't worry, guys. Just one or two screens. That's it. We are almost wrapped up. So don't worry. Okay. So next is database engine configuration. Very important screen. There are 5 tabs here: server configuration, data directories, tempdb, max DOP, memory, file stream. Let's discuss one by one. This is called authentication screen. Authentication is the process of verifying the username and password. Who can connect to the SQL server? This authentication will decide. So you have to add few people here to connect to the SQL server after the installation. At least one account you have to add here. Otherwise, it will not allow you to proceed. That person only can initially connect to the SQL server. That person can give access to others. Are you getting the point, guys? Once you have the key, you can go inside into the room and you can unlock the doors so that others can access the server. So at least one person you have to add here. That person can access the SQL server and he can give access to others also. If you don't give any access, it don't allow you. So at least one person you have to give access here. Okay, first thing. And Shanmukh only that person can access, nothing like that. Once you give access to one person, that person can give access to others also. In the organization Shanmukh, whom we will add? We are going to add a DBA team here. So the whole DBA team, in the DBA team, if 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 or 20 or 30 or 50 or 100 people are there, we'll add the whole DBA team. The team group will be there. Group here we are going to add it. I'll tell you what is group login and all. In that group login, all the DBAs will be there. So once you install the SQL server, while installing, you have to add a DBA team here. If you don't add a DBA team, no one can connect to the SQL server. This SQL server, again, you have to give separate permissions to them. Are you getting the point, guys? Authentication. Who can connect? How you can connect to the SQL server? That is called authentication. Clear? So in this scenario, we are going to add the DBA team service account in this list. Okay. So as of now, we don't have any DBA team, right? I'll show you how to create a DBA team later. Group login, how to create it later. I'll show you. So this will be again, I'll add multiple times. We'll install SQL Server during the discussions, guys. So don't worry. One by one, I'll show you. As of now, I'm adding only current user. One account you should add, right? I'm just clicking on current user. Current means who connected to the Windows machine, guys? Administrator, right?
Administrator.
So if you click on add current user administrator, it will create an account with the administrator name. So as I'm installing and I'm adding my account after the installation of SQL Server, I can connect to the SQL Server. If you don't add anyone, even though you are a company CEO, you cannot access. If you add a security account also, the security guy can connect to the SQL Server. It doesn't matter whether you are a CEO or security. You just check whether your account is there or not. Okay, machines don't understand, right, whether you are a CEO or security. Machines just, it will check whether your account is there or not. If account is there, it will allow you to log into the SQL server. If account is not there, it will not allow you. Clear, guys? Authentication. We have a separate discussion on authentication, authorization, security. In the security concept, we'll discuss what is Windows authentication, what is mixed mode authentication, how the login process will work. Everything will be discussed in the security sessions. Don't worry. Okay. Fine. Data directories where you are going to store the data. So we have different drives in the organization. Will use different drives for database data files, for log files. I'll tell you what is data file, what is log file, what is backup and all. For now, I have only C drive, so I'm installing everything in the C drive. I'm not changing anything. TempDB is a system database. I'll tell you there is a separate discussion on all the system databases. What is the role of TempDB will be discussed completely. Max DOP is a performance tuning setting, one of the configuration settings which will improve the performance of the SQL Server. Max degree of parallelism will be covered in the performance tuning. Memory, max server memory, minimum server memory, again, one of the performance tuning configuration setting that will be covered during the performance tuning. File stream will help you to store the pictures related data, videos related data like YouTube, Netflix. If you want to use SQL Server to store the video content or pictures, you have to enable the file stream. Or normal text and all, no need to enable the file stream. For video content related data, we need file stream. Otherwise, you can skip, okay, selecting file stream and all. We don't need any file stream. Right, now go to next screen, guys. Fine. Again, at the end, it will create one more checklist. It will check whether everything is satisfied or not. And finally, if you go to next, there it is going to prepare a command. Remember, guys, if you remember this point in the beginning of the sessions we discussed, this is called GUI. Whatever we are doing now, GUI way of installation. But Windows doesn't understand what is GUI and all. Okay, don't know what is GUI and all. Then Shanmukh, what we did till now, whatever options we have selected till now, this setup file, it will prepare a query. Okay, this setup file, it will prepare a query of the actions that we have selected. We have selected developer edition, we have selected install. Okay, we want to install, and we have selected some PowerShell, of course, by default it's selected, and we have selected some features, and whatever we selected till now, it will prepare a command. It will prepare a command, what type of instance we have selected, what is the instance ID, everything. It will prepare a command, and it will keep that command collation settings. You can see here, and account, we have added one account, add current user account, full text, everything you can see here. So it will prepare a command, and where it will store, guys, in the configuration file.ini it will store. When I click install, then Windows Server will pull this file, whatever command, whatever inputs we have selected, it will be stored inside this file. Each and every input it will take from this file, and it will start installing the things, guys. But we don't know what is the command to install the SQL Server, right? This window will help you to convert your actions into the command. That command will be stored in the configuration file.ini. If you want, I'll show you how the command will be. Clear? So whatever you select, you don't know the command to install SQL Server, but Windows machine don't know what is GUI. So this interface will simply select your actions. It will convert your actions into the command. That command will be stored inside this configuration file.ini, guys. Are we good now? What is configuration file.ini? It is a file which will store all the installation inputs. Okay, fine. Now very simply just click on install, guys. That's it. Now SQL Server, it will start installing, and then it will continue. For the first time, it will take 10 to 15 minutes. Why? Because it has to install specific features, shared features. Once the shared features are installed, the next time if you are installing second copy, tomorrow I'll show you how to install a named instance. Don't worry. Second time tomorrow again I'll show you. Okay. Next time, this time we are installing default, right? Tomorrow I'll show you the named instance. But tomorrow we don't discuss again this much long. Okay. As it is first time we are discussing all these things. So tomorrow when I'm installing second instance, as today shade features are going to be installed, tomorrow it will take just 5 to 10 minutes. So first time it will take sometimes some extra time, 15 minutes like that. Again, depends upon your server resources and all, like RAM and all. Next time onwards, once shade features are installed, only next time specific features will be installed. It will take 5 to 10 minutes or sometimes 10 minutes to 12 minutes it will take to install the second copy, guys. That is all about the SQL installation. Questions? As we are discussing every point, so it might be kind of a what I can say, lot of things are there. So don't worry, installation is very simple. Next, install. That's it. Maybe you will give server name. Other than that, you don't give any inputs. Remaining all are you have to select only. So very simple to install. Don't worry. Just listen it again and practice it. It is very simple to install. We should know SQL Server installation. It's our regular activity in the organization. We have to install the SQL servers and all. So Shanmukh, you said how to install 2019. Can you tell me how to install 2022? The same process. One or two extra screens will be there. As it is a latest version, maybe they might introduce some other features. But the base, even though if you go back to 2005, in the same way we'll install the same components, the same basics, the same terminologies will be there in any version of installation. Clear, guys? Any questions, doubts here, please? Why so silent? Don't like it?
No, sir. All good.
Shanmo,
Yeah, B.
sometimes in interviews they ask you what are the differences between maybe SQL 2019,
Yes,
2022.
yes.
We're
Sometimes
gonna
they
look
will
into
ask.
that. Oh,
Not regularly. Sometimes there is a chance that they might ask difference between, or can you tell me the new features of 2019? Can you tell me the new features of 2022? So they will tell, they might ask these kind of questions. So the new features will be like, we have, see, SQL Server side, there is no potential new features, okay? Only in the always on, like in the 2012, SQL Server 2012, always on is introduced. After that, remaining all other features, like it will be an extension, it will be an enhancements of the existing features only. Like we have the query processing like enhanced, the configuration changes has been enhanced, like polybase feature has been enhanced. In the you can tell these points, okay? In case if anyone is asking what are the new features. So apart from this, we have other features also like related to the always on. We can add extra replicas, synchronous replicas. Like as of now, you don't know what is this always on, everything, right? So will be discussed slowly. Okay. Then you will get to know the new features of 2019 and 2022.
all right, thanks.
Yeah. Questions, guys? Right. Now let me tell you a simple concept. Okay. Let it install. You should know the difference between log off, sign out, disconnect, guys. Okay. Log off, sign out, disconnect from the servers. Very important. What is log off? What is sign out? What is disconnect? Of course, shutdown, you know, right? Right. What will happen? See, now, if you see here, I just connected to the server, right? Now, if I close the server, any impact will be there to my installation, guys. Currently, installation process is going on. If I directly close the server, any impact will be there. Just guess it. Don't tell your answers, guess it, yes or no. If I directly close this, disconnect, this is called disconnect button, close button. If I directly close the server, it will be disconnected. So if the server is disconnected, any impact will be there on the ongoing actions or activity. Yes
No.
or no? Tell me.
No, sir. As this is a remote desktop connectivity.
Okay. What about others? Only 2-3 people have responded. I'll ask the same question in this way. If I sign out from the server, okay, how to sign out? You can click on the start button and there is a user. Okay, you can see it is loading slowly. If you click on it, you can see sign out button. If you click on sign out button, what will happen? If you directly close the server, what will happen? What is the impact? And if you click on sign out, what is the impact? Tell me, guys. This you should know. Why? Because every time we don't disconnect, guys.
If we disconnect, our session will be running back in.
Very good. If we sign out,
it will get disconnected. Our user will get killed now from task manager.
Okay. Remember, guys, sign out you have to do if your work is completed on the server. If there is no pending work, then only you have to go with the sign out. If you click on sign out, whatever actions are there, whatever activities are going on, all the activities and actions will be killed. Means now if I click on sign out, my installation will be cancelled in the middle. Are you getting the point, guys? So when we have to sign out from the server, when we have to disconnect from the server, you should know. Okay. Sign out means whatever actions that you are doing, all the actions will be killed, closed, cancelled in between, and you will come out from the server. Both are used to come out from the server. Sign out will be used to come out from the server. Disconnect also will be used to come out from the server. But if you choose sign out, all the current actions will be cancelled. If there are no current actions, you have to sign out from the server. You are doing nothing on the server. You just came, you just checked something, and your work is finished on the server. You have to select sign out. You are copying a file, a backup file you are copying, which will take 4 hours. It's a very big backup file. You are copying the backup file, which will take 4 hours. In that scenario, your shift is going to end in next 5 to 10 minutes. Your shift is going to be ended. But the copy process is taking 4 hours, is going to take 4 hours. So are you going to connect to the server for the 4 hours? It will be very difficult. So what you have to do in that scenario, you have to disconnect. If you disconnect, the background processes will run. Whatever you initiated, whatever you initiated sessions will run if you disconnect from the server. If you sign out from the server, whatever you initiated, that will be cancelled, guys. Is it clear now? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
So which one you have to choose? If work is going on, if you initiated any tasks, if it is still running, you have to choose sign out or disconnect.
Disconnect.
Disconnect always. If your work is completed on the server, nothing is there, your work is finished, what you have to choose?
Sign out.
Sign out. Okay, very important. Sign out. Okay, and disconnect. Shanmukh, always I'll go for disconnect. Don't do that. If you always disconnect, your account will be locked. Again, Windows team has to unlock your account. If your account is active on multiple servers, your account will be locked. That is a security breach. So if your work is finished, then sign out from the server. If the work is going on, it will take a lot of time to complete, then disconnect from the server. Log off is another way of disconnecting, guys. That's a command way. Log off in the sense Windows R. Log off if you type and if you hit enter. Again, sign out means GUI way, log off means command way. Both are same. Sign out means selecting like this. If you don't want this, that is a long process. If you want shortcut means you can use log off. Log off also same like sign out. All the actions that you initiated will be cancelled. Okay, now you know the difference between log off, sign out, disconnect, right? Clear? Any questions so far, please? Okay, fine. So if you see here, how to validate whether installation is succeeded or not. How to validate, interview question. How to check whether your installation is succeeded or not. How to confirm whether your installation is succeeded or not. The first is your complete screen. You can see whether all the components that you have selected are succeeded or not. Green checks will come. You have to go and check all the components. Lot of components are there in the below. All should be succeeded. This is the first way of confirming whether your installation is successful or not. Second is install successful. It will give you an information install successful. These are basic, first two basic checks to make sure your installation is successful. If any of the installation is failed, either all the components will be failed to install or few of the components will be failed to install. If it is failed, it will show you failed here and you can see a red mark here. Now we don't have any, but if it is failed, you can see a red mark here. That means it will show you failed. That particular component is failed to install. Especially database engine is failed means the whole installation is failed. Again, you have to reinitiate the installation. You have to check the reason why it was failed and you have to fix it and you have to install it again. Apart from these two, we have one more log file, which is going to log everything. That is called summary.txt file. So if you click on this summary.txt file, it will tell you whether your installation is successful or not. How? Simply the final result is passed means your installation is successful. And you can see if any errors are there, it will be logged inside the summary.txt file. First of all, they will ask this interview question, how you will verify whether your installation is successful or not. First, in the installation screen, I will check whether every component is showing succeeded or not. Second thing is, I will check the summary.txt file that was generated during the installation of the SQL Server. I will open the summary.txt file. I will see any components are failed to install. I will see the final result is passed or not. So the third option is, we have one more file called detailed.txt. Detail.txt. I'll show you where it will be. Detail.txt file will be there. So that is in case if you don't find any errors, they will also ask the same question in this way, where you can find the installation errors. How you will validate whether your installation is successful or not, or where you will find the installation related errors. Both are same. The answer is same. We will use summary.txt file to validate whether installation is successful or not. If installation is successful, it will show you the final result as passed. If it is failed, it will show you why it was failed, what is the reason. So in this way, you can validate the installation is failed or succeeded. And you can also, what is that? How to validate, and what is the other question, guys? Where you will check the installation errors. So you can also check the installation errors in the same summary.txt file is the first source. There is a second source also that is called detail.txt. Where I can see the detail.txt, guys? Go to this location.
Program files, C drive.
Very good. Okay. Go to this location, see program files, Microsoft SQL Server 150 setup bootstrap folder. They will ask you where the files will be. Directly they will ask you, guys. Go to this PC, C drive, program files, Microsoft SQL Server 150. See, if you remember in the first class or second class, I just shown you the versions, right? Beside the versions, you can see 15.0, 150, 14.0, 140, 13.0, 130. So once you install 2019, the folders will be created with that number 150. So this is the final folder of 2019 instance. And it will also create one more folder with MS SQL. Tomorrow will be discussed, okay? Don't worry. Go inside this 150, go to setup bootstrap folder. There go to log folder. There it will create a folders with the date and timestamp. When it was initiated, see 4/1/2025 at 6/3 server time. When I initiated the installation, guys, 4th January 2025 at 6/3 server time. Now the server time is 7:58. So you can go to the latest one. Inside this, the latest one is 7:52. See the date modified. Inside this, see here. I told you, right, it will prepare a configuration file. This is the configuration file and this is the command you can see. See, this is the command. I accept the license terms. Action is equal to install. Whatever the semicolon is a comment and the line without semicolon is a command. Action is equal to install. I accept the license terms and suppress privacy statement. Okay, quite simple. These are all the commands to install the SQL Server. Okay, now you can see update source, instance name. See which instance name, which will be MS SQL. For default instance, the instance name is MS SQL Server. Where you are installing. Okay, this is the instance. Install shared directory. Install shared WOW directory, WOW directory. Instance ID. See, this is the command. You can directly give this command also. You can modify this. You can use the same file to install the second copy. Guys, in 5 ways we can install SQL Server. Can anyone tell me? In 5 ways we can install SQL Server. First, tell me guys, you know that. GUI way.
GUI.
Very good. Second one, you can guess. CUI, command user interface, which is command based installation. Third, INI based installation. Fourth, slipstream installation. Fifth, sysprep installation. Sixth, using PowerShell also you can install. No one will ask you, Shanmukh, you install using slipstream, sysprep and all. They will ask you to install the SQL Server, so everyone will use GUI only. So no need of this CUI. It's good to have the knowledge, but it's not mandatory to have the knowledge. If you want, you can go to our channel, SOS University. If you go back to the old videos, you can see lot of installations, everything. If you are interested, again I am saying it's not mandatory to have the subject. If you are really interested, if you want to see how this will be, simply go to SOS University. There go to old videos. There you can see, okay. We have a search button in our channel. Simply search for slipstream. Okay, you can see. These are all my videos only. 5 years ago, I just uploaded. Okay. If you want sysprep installation, what is sysprep, how it will work, you can see. System preparation. That also you can see here. Introduction to sysprep installation. Okay. And if you want INI based installation, INI based, simply type like this. See, SQL 2008 INI based installation. And if you want command based installation, what is that? Command to install SQL Server. Okay, command based installation and all. See here, installing SQL Server using command. SQL Server 2017 using command. SQL Server 2017 and 19 using command. So, Shanmukh, you are asking to practice for 4 hours, 5 hours. What I have to practice for 4, 5 hours, Shanmukh? Simply, after once you are comfortable with our class, try to explore each and every topic. Try to add some extra points. Try to prepare your own running notes. Okay, so again, it's not mandatory, guys. If you are interested, you can just go ahead, just for the information purpose. But no one will ask you to install using command prompt or PowerShell and all. So we are comfortable with the GUI. Yes, GUI is fine. You should be good at GUI. That's it. Okay, guys, that's it for now. Tomorrow we'll connect at 7 a.m. IST. For US people tonight, 8:30 p.m. EST, and we'll discuss the other things. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, we are good to disconnect for now, and we'll connect again in the next session.
Okay.
Sir?
What is the downtime,
Thanks.
Sen?
What is the
Downtime?
downtime? Downtime, I'll explain what is the downtime and all. Okay, so what it means actually, I'll explain. In the
Okay.
beginning, if you remember, we discussed that what is downtime and all. But again, I'll explain, don't worry. Vaishnavi, you have to ping me from your WhatsApp number to continue. Okay, So I didn't get any response from you till now. Even I sent you multiple messages in the Zoom chat also. So you have to ping me tonight. Maybe immediately you can ping me to discuss further. Okay. Yeah. So I'm unable to recognize you. So that's why I'm asking you. Okay. Fine, guys. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, we are good to disperse now. And tomorrow we'll connect again at 7 a.m. IST. Yeah, thank you, Anila. Thank you. Again, this is the first class, guys. Installation wise, lot of things we discussed. Don't worry. Don't worry at all. Simply very simple. Tomorrow you can see the easiest way of installation. But of course, you should know all the terminologies, right? So that's why we discussed a lot. It can be a kind of overloading. Don't vomit. Okay, that's okay. Keep it inside. And okay, so just keep practicing so that um, you can at least what you can say you will be comfortable with the installations and all. Okay, you will not get that vomit sensation once you started practicing. If you want to omit, just check one guy, try to explain to them so that definitely, okay, that will be a successful vomit. Fine. Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. Good night. Good day. Bye.